How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Senseonics, which had a strong day inside of the market. And knowing how volatile the market was as a whole, I must say I'm impressed. Let me know inside of the comment section if you feel the same way as well. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performed. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Senseonics. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.70, being up 10.45%. On the low, it tested $3.39, and then on the high, testing $3.70. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 22.52 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 12.478 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and you can see by that buying pressure that we had, we ended up doing very well. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, when we take a look at the RSI down below, it is at 73.30. So yes, it is in the overbought territory. We have been seeing higher lows being built for the past 6 trading days. No shocker there. And then when we take a look at our moving averages, we are above the 21-day EMA, as well as for the 50-day, the 200-day, and as well as the 100-day. So what we've been seeing from SENS, the first thing that I want to point out, we are definitely well on our way looking to want to get to this $4 level, which we know is going to be a psychological area. There might be a good amount of sellers here, especially if we do not get the news as of yet. Another thing that I want to show you guys, we do have a gap to the downside, and it's right here around $3.36. And if you guys have been watching my channel long enough, we know gaps tend to get filled. But what we want to see for the most part is getting to 4 before actually filling in that gap right here around 336. But I can see this being used as an entry for some people that maybe want to FOMO or jump into the play. So that is something that you want to keep an eye on. As far as another area that I want you guys to pay attention to is this $3.70 level. If we end up having a pullback going into tomorrow, then I'm expecting us to at least hold up right here around $3.50. If we are able to do this, this is where I'm going to look forward to seeing that move so we can get above 380. I also did point this out in the previous video as well, and I'm going to stay intact with what I'm saying. If we get past that 380, then easily we want to look forward to seeing how well we can get past around the 390 level and then essentially make that move to 4. If you are inside of this play, you have to have a decision, all right? And I'm going to make it very clear. It's either A, you're going to wait for that FDA approval, or you need to start thinking about when you want to take profits, especially if you were able to get in when the stock was trading below 250. And I was saying that, hey, this is a great area for you to add, especially when we filled in that gap right around 215. So let's see how the stock performs going into tomorrow, and I definitely look forward to getting that FDA decision soon, and I know many of you could agree with me. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Senseonics. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for February the 7th, we have Pro Equities Inc. that went in with a call, and we also do see that Pro Equities went in with a put, so we know clearly that they are hedging. And they also have another position that was taken here, but we don't have the values for the share numbers as of yet. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 34.63%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 3 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 21 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 9.98%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the third, it was at 43.04. And then for the close of the fourth, it was at 34.63. So when the numbers come out later on in the evening, I'm actually expecting that to be a lot higher due to the fact the stock did run up a bit on the day. And of course, we haven't received the information, so we're going to have a lot of shorts that are going to want to pile in. And as a result, that's why you're going to continue to see volatility in the stock. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution.
Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Senseonics. So we see here on the inflow it's at 14.91, and then on the outflow it's at 14.18. So we ended up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 9.54, and then on the small it was 5.37. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see it was 0 on the large, on the medium 9.11, and on the small it was 5.07. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for February the 7th it was 0. And then when we take a look at February the 4th being that outflow day, and then we did have an inflow day on the 3rd. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, or funds, this is where we had 0. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 5.07%. So no surprises there. But one thing that is very clear, there's a lot of demand in the market for Senseonics shares. We do have traders that are coming into the play, but one thing that is clear, we do see a lot of interest on the retail side. And this is actually really good considering how long the stock has been running up. I'll talk about it further in the final thoughts. Let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for Senseonics, taking a look at the price action, what we want to see going into tomorrow, if we end up having a pullback, I want to see us hold up at least $3.50. If we are able to do this, then you guys know what's coming. I'm looking for us to get past that resistance level right around $3.80. We ended up having resistance at $3.70 on the day. So going to $3.80, I think is very achievable. If we end up actually breaking through $3.50, then of course I want to see us have some strength, holding up at least somewhere around the $3.40 range. That's not too much to ask. And if we're able to actually get past that $3.80 area, that's where we make that move going to around $3.90, and then we could test that psychological area right at $4. Keep in mind, this stock has been forming higher lows for the past 6 trading days, and it is well overbought on the relative strength index, which is the RSI. So again, there could be some profit taking that is going to be happening. Plus, on top of that, we do have a gap that needs to be filled right around $3.36. So again, add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So I can see a lot more volatility coming in this play and more shorts wanting to be vested. Like I said, this has had 6 green days in a row. So again, I'm very excited about it. I know many of you are as well, but we have to be realistic here, and a pullback can happen. We've been seeing, as far as growth stocks are concerned, our tech plays, the 10-year yield has been spiking. So a lot of stocks have been pulling back. So this is why you want to make sure that you have a game plan. You have to know, am I going to be holding this, looking forward to that FDA approval, or am I trying to sell out to make sure I protect my profits? Have that decision down right now. Just don't sit there at your computer or on your phone watching the stock run up. That's one of the worst things that you could do, because that's where greed and FOMO starts getting in the way. Also, there were some members inside of the Discord that ended up taking profits on SENS as well. I, for myself, I'm waiting for this FDA approval. I told you guys we had to load up when it filled in that gap around 215. Here we're at close right at $3.70. Let's see if we can make that move to 4. I'm looking forward to it. Plus, on top of that, let's get that FDA approval. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.